Anjana, I'm not able to switch on my video.
Hi everyone. So there is some video setting issue, and I am not having other participant on the video, unfortunately, so far. So once we have some post settings done changes, I am sure you'll be able to see Sheena, CB, and Smita also. And I'm sorry about the uh, thing, and we'll work on it while we are interacting. So all of you are aware, to just give you a little background on, what are we, why are we here? So we are a part of this FutureSkills Prime knowledge series cohort. This is the first cohort of acquiring data by Accenture, and this is the first masterclass as a part of the series. Now, what have we done so far? We have identified a target group, and all of you are a part of it. Identify the course of acquiring data. We had a study plan. We were meeting every Wednesday and Thursday to sync up on see how is the self-paced study going on. As a part of it, we now have a mentor connect, and Sheena here is going to help you with your queries and wherever roadblocks that you're meeting so far, and to tell the Accenture team that where are we. We already have some 6 people who have done the certification, and I'm talking about NASSCOM assessment. So they completed the assessment of Accenture, as well as also moved to step ahead of it so far. And we are here to help the other people complete the certification. I have Sheena here with me to give you introduction. Sheena is an application development specialist in AI team in learning and knowledge management of Accenture, with an MTech in electrical engineering from Jamia and New Delhi. And she's been working in AI and machine learning for past so many years, and now she's here to help all of you. We also have CB here, and I'm very sorry that CB is not able to share his video. So CB is CB heads the learning and management, learning development at Accenture, and he helped us with this course, and also getting Sheena on the platform. We also have Smita, she's nowhere to be seen, so who is helping us with this cohort. So I'm just going to hand over it to Sheena and make her the host. And in the meanwhile, we'll figure out how to see that everybody is able to come on video. And so Sheena, I'm just giving you the host rights.
Okay, Anjana. Hello, everyone. Very good evening. All right, I welcome all of you to this session. Thank you for joining in. And in today's session, I would give you an overview of the acquiring data course that we have hosted on the FutureSkills Prime platform. And we will walk through the course, see what are the topics covered therein, talk about a few important things. I would also show you a demo of the hands-on tool that is being used in the course. And I would encourage you to keep this session interactive, ask your queries, and if there's any point that you don't understand, please feel free to stop me and ask. So Anjana, do you want to give context, or should we get started?
So I think you have some quizzes prepared, right, Sheena? Before that,
Mm-hmm.
I think we can just give a quick, so far where are we? We did ask everybody to come prepared with at least 2-3 modules of acquiring data, and including me. I think everyone has done some at least 2 modules. So so if anyone has a query so far about anything in the very introductory part or very basics, and you feel that you are somewhere left behind, that can be done. Also, I'm requesting Sheena, can you give host right to CB for some time? I think that will
Okay.
enable him to come on video, because I'm still on video. And to I think
Hmm.
we can circulate it once and then have everybody on video, and then you can have it back.
Okay, let me see how I can do that. Make host. Okay.
Yeah, so CB, you can try switching on your camera after that.
Sure.
I hope it works. Yeah, that
Hi,
works.
CV.
Yeah, that works. Hi.
So we are just doing the circulation thing. If you can give
Right.
it to Sangeeta, and then we can have everybody on
Sure.
video once, and then we will be
Perfect.
done. Yeah.
So great. Great. So thank you, Anjana, and thanks, Sheena. And hello, learners. So my acquiring data learners, and welcome to this session that we have here arranged for exclusively for all of you as part of the orientation of the acquiring data course. And like Anjana mentioned and Sheena also mentioned that, during this session, we will be taking up your questions with respect to the course. Okay, so please make sure to make the best of this time and keep it interactive, and all the very best and happy learning. All right, cool. So I'll now pass on the video rights to Sangeeta. Sangeeta, you can be up next. Done.
Sangeeta. So this is an interesting solution. I think Sheena will have some answers for this. So Sangeeta, if you want to come on video, you can come right now. And then maybe if you want to switch off your video, then it's okay. So yeah, so we were also asking everyone that, interestingly, we did have a lot of new people join in our WhatsApp group also. So are you all familiar with acquiring data module 1, 2, so that Sheena can quickly glance into it? And if you have any queries, any roadblocks till then, because we also felt that till module 2, it is not very difficult. It's only an uphill journey from there. Okay, so not completed module 1. Okay, so module 1 I find is very simple. It's completable, and I mean, not very difficult, I think. Yeah, it's very smooth till module 2. After that, I think its difficulty level goes up. So anyone, any queries, so that we have Sheena only handling those, places where you are stuck, and not, wasting time over smaller things also.
Right, guys. So like, Anjana said, so just make sure that you know which topic or maybe certain points in the course you got stuck at. Okay, so just make a note of it somewhere. You can ask those things today. You have 2 more sessions to go. Okay, we can keep those for those 2 sessions also. Sheena, the same team, Sheena, Anjana, we all will be back in those 2 sessions also. Okay, so you have time to begin with. Obviously, yes, let's see what Sheena has to take us through when it comes to the course overview, and then we'll decide, and then will flow accordingly. The Q&A will flow in accordingly from your end. And if you guys have any questions, please feel free to type them. If you're not able to speak, or if you're not able to unmute and speak, it's okay. You can type your questions in the chat box, and we'll try and bring them up, and we'll address them accordingly. All right, I think we're good to go. All right, we're good to start now. So Sheena, over to you, and all the very best. Thank you.
Thank you, CV. Thank you.
Thanks.
So Smita here, just a quick note before you start, Sheena. So
Mhm.
this is run in a webinar format. So if you have questions, what you need to do is at any point of time, the participants, when you have questions and you're not able to clear it using the chat and you desperately want to interact, raise your hand and host will be able to let you in and you can speak. That is the mode that we are going to operate in. Okay. Yes, Sheena, over to you.
So Sangeeta,
right.
just give the host right to Smita also. She can come on video if she wants to then. Yeah, after you are done with video. And then we can give it to Muthu. We have found the way around.
Sheena, all yours. Sorry. Yeah.
All right, all right. Okay, so I hope my screen is visible. I'm sharing the cover slide. Okay. We'll start with a small quiz, and that quiz is there to keep this session interactive, and you can post your answers on the chat. And as we go through the quiz, we'll also talk about the concepts which are related around the question. Okay, so okay. So this is a very common saying, very old also now, if we compare it to the recent times. So can you tell me what should go in the blank?
Data.
Yes. So data is the new oil. That's correct. And can somebody tell why data is called to be the new oil? Can anyone tell why do we call data as the new oil?
Because everywhere, Sheena, if you see whether it's on retail or mobile or online or Netflix, everywhere, like the companies are getting so many information about customers. So they have so much of data about customer, which they can use it for their own business benefits.
Yes. Yes, true. True. So rightly said. So data is called the new oil because there are two reasons actually. One is the value that data has in today's world. So, as we know, oil is one of the most precious natural resources and it has a lot of value. Similarly, data in today's time is actually also very, very important, and it can be actually used to gain a lot of value. This is one reason. And the other reason that we have is that the oil in its raw form is actually treated before we can use it. And then once we have treated the raw oil, we actually get a lot of important and useful things out of it. So similarly, data is also needs to be processed before you can actually convert it to a usable form. Right. So yeah, you can also mine data. So yes, I think people have put a lot of good answers on the chat. Thank you very much for all those responses. Yes. All right. So the other point is that data is the new oil. This is one thing. Data is also said to be the new electricity. And this is because when electricity came into picture, the mankind was actually totally revolutionized, right? It changed the way everything worked. It was a total revolution. And same goes for data. So data also has the potential of transforming the way things operate today. And it has the same kind of power that electricity once had for changing the way we do things. So that's why it's also said to be the new electricity. So one question on the chat is, how can I do data mining? Data mining is when you actually use data and try to find associations or patterns from that data. So that's the term used because you go so deep into the data to find useful insights. That's why, this term has come up, data mining, because it's similar to mining any natural resource like gold or petrol or anything for that matter. Okay, then the next question is, I do not deal with data in my everyday life. True or false? This is clearly false, right? And can I ask for some examples that you can give of how you are dealing with data in your day-to-day life? This is like a very common question, but I would like to hear it from any volunteers that would like to provide any details. Online shopping, Twitter, train or not. Okay, groceries, workout monitoring, phone pay, OTT. Right, lot of good answers. Right, so we all are dealing with data in our everyday life, and we are doing it more than we realize actually. So these days it's like everything you do, every single a minute that you spend using your mobile phone, you are actually creating data. And then there are so many of us who are using mobile phones every minute, every second. So, there is a lot of data that is being generated by simple user activity on the mobile phone. And the volume of that data which is being generated every day or every minute, if we say so, is actually huge. I mean, it's too big. Right. Without data, we can't survive. Yeah. Uber, social media, OTT. And yes, there's a lot of screen time also, which is going these days. So this is false. We are actually dealing with data in our everyday life. Okay. Now this question is about, one is using data. The second, this question is about generating data. So do you think you are generating data in your day-to-day activities? And how are we doing it? So one example of how we are generating data is every time we click a picture of ours using our mobile phone and put it on social media like, Instagram or Facebook. So at that time, what we are doing is we are generating data and uploading it to the platform. Any other examples of data generation? Content creation, of course. Yes. Product ordering, of course. Posting on Facebook, browsing, cart swipe. Actually, it's like everywhere. The point that I want to make it is that it's so all around us that it's difficult to actually realize that we are generating data. So every time you are browsing on Google, or you are interacting with any shopping website, or you're interacting with any OTT platform, you are actually creating your own data. And these websites are monitoring that data and using it to improve your customer experience and their own business at the same time. Yes, each activity, of course. Okay, so now this question is about cloud computing. So for those of you who are aware of cloud computing, do you think that you're not using cloud computing in your day-to-day life? And for those who are not aware, I mean, I think everyone should be, but I'll just give a little overview. So cloud computing is when services or platform is delivered using the internet, and the data and other services are being stored at a remote location in the cloud, and you need an internet connection to connect to that cloud and have things accessible to you. So that's cloud computing. Yes, so this is false. And example of cloud, yes, is Netflix, Apple Cloud, right? Gmail and YouTube, every data. AWS, of course, AWS is one of the platforms where you can actually go and use Amazon's cloud, Azure. Right. So the conclusion that we can derive from this is that data is playing a very important role in today's technology. And the way the present trend looks like, we can conclude that its importance will only go on increasing in the future. And that's why, it's very, very important that we learn about the basics of data. And, sometimes I get this question that, I'm more interested in machine learning and AI, and, why should I take a basic data course? So data is actually the primary building block for all the AI and machine learning algorithms that we have. And none of these can actually work without data. It's the primary thing that we need. Okay, so I'll answer this question at the end. How can I build AI model using data? Okay, how is Informatica ETL tool jobs for non-IT background? Okay, I would also request you all to keep the questions relevant to the current discussion. Okay, I would not be able to take questions which are not related to this discussion. So please refrain from putting those questions up. How can I build AI model using data? So Shubham, I would request you to repose this question after we are at the end of the session, and I would surely love to answer this one. Okay. Okay, now let's talk about our course, acquiring data, the course structure. So I hope the entire screen is visible. You can see the modules, right? Because the chat windows are open for me, so it's obstructing a bit, but I think it should not be the case for the participants. Right, you can see this table entirely?
Yeah, we can see.
Okay. Okay, so this acquiring data course has actually 4 modules, and these 4 modules are introduction to data. Then we go on to types of data. Then we talk about how to store data. And the last module is about introduction to data validation. And there is a course introduction video, which is at the top of all of these modules. And that also details the structure of the course and what the course is all about and what are the different elements. So the course elements or the course components are, we have videos. So videos are the primary learning material in the course, you can say. They talk about the concept that is being described, and then there are also demo videos. So what demo videos do is that they help you to actually run the code. So in the demo videos, for the learners who are new, we have actually put how to run the code, and we are running the code in the notebook, and you can actually see the outputs appearing in that video. So that is there to help you understand how to interact with the environment and how to run the code. Then the other component is the hands-on exercise. So this is about the, you can call it a kind of an assignment. So there are instructions and you have to follow those instructions to complete these hands-on assignments. And they are essentially meant to apply the concept that you have learned in the video to the coding part, mostly for most modules. Okay. And the third component that we have is the Ncq based quizzes. So these quizzes are meant for you to test your learning, and there are unlimited attempts. So if you don't do very well in your first attempt, you can always go back to the videos, reattempt the videos, and then you can again come back to the quiz. And I think this is like pretty simple. If you have seen all the videos, I think going through the hands-on and MCQs would not be much of a problem. And as far as the platform is concerned, I would show you a demo of how you can actually use the IDE, that is the Jupyter Notebook, or I'll also talk about another IDE that you can use. So we'll come to that. Okay, so what are IPYNB notebooks? IPYNB stands for IPython notebooks. And these are the notebooks that you would see in the demo videos. So what these notebooks give you is that not only you can write code in these notebooks and run the code, but you can also write explanations or other things that you want to write about the code. So it's like a notebook wherein you can have text and code both. Okay, and so mostly you would need these IPYNB notebooks for most part of the course. And for doing that, we have 2 tools that you can use, and any of these 2 can be used. So I would want you to listen very carefully on this part. So the first tool is the Google Collaboratory, or popularly known as Google Colab. And this one is from Google, and it runs in the Google's cloud. And because it's running in the cloud, you don't need to do any installation. All you need is a Google account and an internet connection. Okay, so it's pretty much like Gmail. You can just log into your account and start using Gmail. Similarly, you can just log into Google Colab with your Google account and you can straight away start using the notebook. Okay, this is the first option. The second option that we have is using the Anaconda distribution. So Anaconda distribution is good for you if you do not have internet connection which is available at all times. So Anaconda distribution you can do is you need to download and install this. And after you have installed it, you can run it in your local machine and you do not need to have an internet connection. Okay. So what I'll do next is I will show you a quick demo for both. Okay. So let me share my screen. How do I move this away? Okay, cool. Okay, so we will first talk about Google Colab. So is my screen visible to all of you?
Sheena, your slide is still on.
Okay, I'm
The
sorry.
previous slide is
Okay.
still on. Yeah, now we can see your Google page.
Now you
Yeah.
can see? Okay,
Yeah.
okay, fine.
Yeah.
All right. So what we have to do is we have to write Google Colab in the browser, type enter. The link will appear first and it's collab.research.google.com. Just click on this link. Okay, because I'm signed in with my Google account on this browser, that's why it opened directly. Otherwise it will just ask you for your Google credentials. Okay, if you want you can do it along with me. I mean, I'll go slow and we can have this running parallelly for both of us. So just type Google Colab on your browser and see if you can actually access this window. I'll wait for some time, and if you want to try, you can actually do it. Okay, once we are here, you need to go to new notebook. Just these are the old files that I have. This may be blank for you if you have not used this before. So you go to new notebook and it will actually create a new notebook for you. See, so this notebook opens up like this and you can give it a custom name, whatever you want. So by default, it will be untitled, but you can give it like test demo or whatever you want. You can change the name simply. Now, see, as I told you, these are notebooks wherein you can have code cells. You can also have text cells. So you can decide from here what you want to do. So suppose we want to have a text cell, we can just click plus text. It will give us a text cell and we can write the text that we want. Maybe, we can write a practice session. Okay. And press shift enter from your keyboard. Okay. Shift enter. So this becomes text. Okay. And as you press shift enter, it will also give you a new block to write your code in. Okay. So this happens simultaneously. Shift enter is the keyboard shortcut. Shift plus enter. Okay. Now, this was about the text block. About the coding block, this is the coding block. You can recognize it by this play button that appears here. For code blocks, only this play button will come. And here you can simply type the code. So suppose I want to write the code. So I'll write import pandas as PD. And I can press shift enter, or I can use this play button also to run the cell. I can also use control enter. So, there are like too many shortcuts that you can use. My favorite is shift enter. That's what I use mostly, but any of these is fine. So, this shows that the cell is running. Okay, this dotted circle shows that the cell is running. And once the cell is finished running, this will disappear. Okay. So while this is running, maybe I'll add another block of code. Okay. See, this is finished running and it took it 1 second to run. So this green tick will appear here. Okay. Now, see, most of the assignments that we have in the course will need you to download a data set from some link and then use that data set to proceed further. So you have the link in the hands-on document or wherever they are asking you to download the data set. So you can just click on that link. That link will take you to the source of the data set. You can download your data set from there. The data will get downloaded in your local system. Okay. Now, once you have the data in your local system, you need to upload it to Google's Colab to actually use it within this environment. So how can we do that? This is a symbol here for files. Okay, you go here. Okay, you can see this first icon which says upload to session storage. Okay, you click here and then you find the data set from, like, my data set is here. So I pick this data set, I upload it, simple. It will take some time to upload. You can actually monitor the progress here. And once the data is finished uploading, it will actually be visible here. Okay, so we'll soon see that this is uploaded and it's appearing here. Alternatively, what you can do is that you see this Google Drive icon here. Okay, so you can also mount, if you have a data set which is there in your Google Drive, you can actually use it from your Google Drive also. But this is true for, bigger data sets which are not so easily downloadable, and downloading it, uploading it may be a problem. So put it in your Google Drive, and then actually you can mount your drive and use that also. So see, this is partially uploaded, but it's already appearing here. So in the interest of time, I'll proceed with the next step. So now the next step is to create a data frame out of this data. That's what we do in most of the assignments that we have. And if you have gone through some of the parts of the course, maybe you have seen these commands already. If you haven't, maybe I should give you an overview. So this Pandas is a library in Python, which is used for working with data frames. Okay. And what is a data frame? When you upload your data in Python to process it, to manipulate it further, the structure which Python creates for your uploaded data is known as a data frame. Okay, so Pandas is the library which actually helps you work with data frames. So that's why the first step in most of the hands-on assignments that you would see would be import Pandas as PD, this line. Okay, so so the next step is creating the data frame out of this data set which we had just uploaded to our session. So for that, the command is pd.read_csv, and we go here, the 3 dots, click on these 3 dots. It will show you this option, copy path. Okay, you copy path, you put this single quotes and paste. Okay, we copied the path from here, we pasted it here. Okay, once you do this, what's happening is you are reading this CSV file which is present at this path into this data frame. Okay, and this PD is this Pandas library which will actually help you create this data frame, which is named as DF. You press Shift Enter. Okay, this operation is done. Now let's see what's there in DF. So df.head will actually help me see the first 5 rows of my data frame. Okay, so see, when I did df.head, these are the first 5 rows of my data frame. So, I can see a small snapshot of what my data frame looks like. What are the columns? What are the different kind of values that we have? Okay, once you have done this, you can proceed in the same manner. Like we have df.head. Now you can do anything that you want to do with df. Like I can do df.info. This is another function that you would frequently encounter when you do the hands-on. So df.info will give you all the information about the data frame. Okay, so this is the information. So what all information? The different column names, the different not null values, the data types of each columns. Okay, so I think the main problem that most of you would have encountered is to how to reach this notebook and how to load this data set. I think once we have loaded this data set and created the data frame, following the other instructions would be easy. So I hope that is easy for all of you. And still, if there are any queries, I would be happy to answer them. But this is mainly what we do in Google's Colab. Okay. Now, so I would like to stop here with the demo for Google's Colab, and now I would like to move to the other demo that is for Anaconda Distribution. Okay. So I hope this is clear. Google's Colab is using Google's cloud, Google's GPU for running your code. Okay, you don't need to have anything in your machine. Now for Anaconda, what you need to do is you type Anaconda Distribution in your browser, Anaconda Distribution. This link which comes up at www.anaconda.com, that is the link that you need to use. Okay, so this is how the page would look like, and you just need to go to this download button, download for Windows, and click on download. It will start downloading. Okay, and because I already have it downloaded, I am not downloading it again. But if you guys want, you can actually just do it. It won't take much time. Once it is downloaded, you would have to run the file and install it. Okay. So I would wait for some time here so that, if somebody is trying to download and install it, maybe they can do it.
Yeah, Sheena, sorry, Smita here. So there's a question, Sheena, would you show the beginning after the collab? So I think if you don't do it now, you can get
sure. Okay. What do you want after the collab? The beginning of how to use the collab.
So Sonia, would you tell what exactly you want? Just put it in the chat.
Yeah, I'm sorry, I'm not seeing the chat for some time now.
No, that's fine. I'm getting all the questions, Sheena, so that I'll give you at the end of it.
Okay. Yeah. Okay, would you show the beginning after the collab?
Right after collab opening, yeah.
Okay. So maybe I'll just show you that collab thing over again once. No problem. So you have to do Google Colab. Just type this in your browser. This link would come up. Okay, go there. Because I'm signed in with my Google account, it's opening directly for me. If you're not signed in with your Google account in your browser, it will ask you for your Google credentials. Okay, so I'll wait for a few seconds here. Just make sure, Sonia, that you are on this page. Let me know. So can I proceed, Sonia? You are here on this page? Okay, cool. Now you go to new notebook. You have this notebook here. You can just start writing the code. Okay, whatever code you want. Okay, I can write anything in Python here. So this is the code that we want to write, and this is the code block as shown by this play button. And once we have finished writing our code, we'll just press Shift Enter. The code is running. Okay. The code has stopped, it has finished running. Now you can write any other code that you want. We can also talk about some other thing. For example, any code in Python, like a is equal to 1, this will assign a to 1. It doesn't have to be data frame specific. Okay, now I can write, like this is simple Python code, and then c is equal to a plus b. This is some basic coding, and you say c, it will print the value of c. This is like simple, right? And what I said next
Why is
was
it saying -4?
1 plus -5 is -4.
Oh, it's -5. Sorry. my
Yes,
bad.
yes, this is -5. Okay, so any Python code you can run here. It doesn't have to be data frame specific or anything. Any Python code it will run for you. Then because we are mostly talking about data and data frames in our course, so most of the hands-on will require you to download a data set and then use that data set for further operations. So for downloading the data set, the link is already given in most of the hands-on. You go to that link, you will be able to download the data set. Okay. Then you go to this files icon here, okay. You upload your data set, okay. From here, like this is my data set, which is there in my local PC. I downloaded it from the link that was given in the hands-on. I have it here in my local system. I select it and I open it. Right, it will show that it has started uploading here, if you can see. Okay, and in some time it will get uploaded. Okay, so it will take some like few seconds for it to upload. Meanwhile, we can write the code further. So when we have loaded our data set here, the next step is that we want to use this data set to create a data frame so that we can proceed with data processing further. Okay, manipulation further. So this df is a name, okay, what we say variable name. It can also be something else, like it doesn't have to be df all the time. Df is just a convention that we follow. So I can also name it as data underscore one, okay. I can name it df data underscore one or anything I want, okay. It's just a variable name. All right, and then I use pandas library pd dot read underscore CSV is the function which helps me to read data from CSV files into the data frames. Okay, so this data one will be a data frame because we are using pandas library here with read underscore CSV. Okay, then we use single quotes and we can see that our data set is appearing here. You go to these 3 dots, you copy path. Okay, and then you come here, paste this path. Okay, so what's happening is that pandas, that is PD, is using read underscore CSV function to read the data set which is there at this path into a data frame data one, data underscore one. Okay, so a data frame is created. Okay. What happened to this? Okay, I don't know, something went wrong, but these see, one more very important thing is that you have to make Google your best friend, because sometimes what happens is some errors come and it's just like you don't understand why this is happening. So at those moments, it's not necessary that you'll have somebody to tell you why this is happening. So just copy the error message, the last line of the error message, and Google search it. You'll be able to find the option. So right now what happened, maybe there was an extra space while I was copying and pasting. Something happened and it's the same code. We have run it and we have created this data frame here. Okay, now let's see what's in the data frame. Okay, so we can use .head with data frames to see the first 5 rows.
Sheena,
Yes.
just want to say that this is we are at 6:44. So when will we start taking Q&A? Because we see the whole chat is filled with Q&A. So can we start taking it at 6:45 or 46, whenever you're comfortable?
I just want to show one Anaconda demo also. So let me do that also. Okay. So I hope this is clear now. Okay. So I hope this is clear now. Once you have this data loaded in your data frame, you can actually go ahead and do whatever manipulations you want with this data, and this should be like easy for you. This is the difficult step to get started. Okay, so somebody is asking why write CSV is not there. So there is a function which can actually help you to write CSV. So suppose I have a data, suppose this data one that we have here, we have manipulated it, we have done so many things with it, and now we want to save the manipulated data as a CSV file. Okay, So there is a function which can help you do that, and that function is known as to_CSV. Okay, so I'll just quickly show you. Okay, so that is pd.to_CSV, and then here you can give the path. So the path would be where you want to save that data and what will be the name of the file. Okay, so if we want to say use the same path, we will say content and this slash, and instead of country vaccinations.csv, you write the name that you want to give to that new CSV file that you are creating. Okay. All right, so let's move on to the Anaconda distribution. What is the system requirement to learn this course? See, the system requirement is either you can use Google Colab or you can use Anaconda. Okay, just these two. I mean, any of the two. So Anaconda is also pretty simple. So I told you that you go to your browser and write Anaconda distribution, and this page will open up as the first link. Now you go to this download button. It will download. You need to run the file. Once you have installed your file, you go to the search. Okay, just a minute. You go to this search button in your system. I hope you can see the search button and this panel that's coming up.
Yeah, we can see.
Yes. Okay. So once your Anaconda is downloaded and installed, you should be able to see this option Anaconda prompt. Anaconda 3 like this. Okay, so this is the terminal for Anaconda, and that's what we will use. Okay, once you have downloaded and installed Anaconda prompt will appear, and if it is not appearing, because this is recent, so it's appearing, otherwise you can just search for Anaconda prompt like this. Okay, go to Anaconda prompt, it will open up as a terminal. Okay, and in the terminal you have to enter one command, that's Jupyter Notebook. Simple. Because we want to open Jupyter Notebook, so the command is Jupyter Notebook, and click enter. Simple enter from your keyboard. Automatically, it will open this in your browser. It happened automatically. I just pressed enter and this opens up automatically. Okay, you go and it is opening in your browser, but it is actually working locally in your system. You don't need to have an internet connection. It says localhost. Okay, so you go to new and new Python 3 you select. You go to new and select Python 3. And voila, you have the notebook in front of you. You can again, rename this and you can start writing code here. And whatever you see in the demo videos is actually this notebook being used. If you have seen those videos, you'll be familiar with the look and feel, and you would be able to make out that, it's the same interface. So again, it was just the same way as Colab. Just write the code, shift enter to run it, or you can also use this run button to run the cell. And you have to make data frame out of the data that you downloaded. So just to use the same command, pd.read_csv, and wherever your file is lying, suppose mine is lying in downloads, archive. Okay, this is where my file is in my local system. So I go here, I right click it, copy as path. I select this. I go back to my Google Colab. I paste it. Okay, this is the path where the file is residing in my local system. I just give this path, shift enter. What is wrong with it? Just let me check something. Okay, so if this error comes up, what's actually happening is that, these forward slash are actually interfering with the path. So, this is also used for escape characters, right? These slashes. So what you have to do is, if this error is coming, Unicode escape, then just put a small r here in front of the path. So what this small r does is it tells Pandas that this is to be read as a complete path and these are not slashes for escape characters. So just put a small r, shift enter. Okay, and then do df.head to see whether you have uploaded the data to the data frame correctly. So this is what my df.head shows. Okay, so this is, I think, pretty much from my side. Just one last thing that remains is that, you should go through the course in the same order in which the items appear to make the most of this course. Okay, and I think I can take the questions now.
We have a lot of questions. I think.
Okay.
Yeah.
Smita is here to
So-
deal with them.
I was looking into it. So one is, can I do the work the other way around without importing Pandas library? That is one question. I thought I will just take from the end.
Just a
Without
minute, I'm
Pandas,
trying
can you
to
do?
come back to the window Zoom call. I don't know where it is.
Just stop.
I should stop sharing.
Stop
maybe.
sharing. Yeah, stop sharing.
Oh, okay, all right. Yes, yes.
Okay, so Sheena, the one question is, what is it? Can I do the work other way around without importing Pandas library? Is there any other thing that will help you do this?
But why do we want to do this? Like Python has actually provided you one package which helps you to work with data very easily. So, we should not, like, why should we look at not using it? Use it. I mean, it's what the course is all about. So we should use it. I mean, yeah.
And what is the system requirement to learn this course?
So system requirement, see, there is no system requirement. You can use either Google's Colab. You don't need to even install or download anything, just a Google account and an internet connection. Okay, that's the simple one. Or you can use Jupyter Notebook if you think your internet connection is not stable, not there at all times. So use Jupyter's Notebook. It will run on your local machines. So, the Google Colab is actually useful when you are dealing with very big data sets, which your computer won't be able to handle. So Google is actually providing you very powerful processors at no cost. So Google's Colab is more preferred in those settings, but these are like simple code which won't need so much processing power. So it's advisable to use Jupyter Notebook if you have a laptop in which you can actually install things.
Sure. How can I read PDF, Word, JSON file in Pandas?
Yes, so there is an option to read other type of files also. PDF and all is like different. Pandas would help you with the CSV files or with Excel files or other files which have data in them, right?
JSON?
So
JSON?
yeah,
JSON also?
Yes. I'm sure there must be other functions like we have pd.read_CSV. Similarly, for Excel, we have a function pd.read_Excel. That's the function for it. And I'm sure for JSON and other formats also similar functions must be existing. So it's very easy. I mean, just check the documentation what the exact function is to import different types. It's similar, but the CSV thing can change to some other format depending on what you're trying to import.
Will Google Colab help in DevOps? Can you use it to actually deploy? I think that's what the meaning is. Yeah.
For deployment. All right. So deployment is a different thing. Once you have trained your model, you need to actually deploy that model. So whether you are using Jupyter Notebook or using Google Colab, you actually need to have a trained model. You have to, save that model file in some format and then deploy that model. So, it's not IDE dependent. Deployment is not IDE dependent. You need to have a trained model which can accept a request and send the responses. It can be trained in any platform.
There are some questions which is in data related job, which field is good to get a job for non-IT background people?
Non-IT background people. So what is the background? I mean, stats, biology, some background must be there. Non-IT is okay, but so I have a background
engineering background. Let's take mechanical or something.
Of course, I have a background in electrical engineering, and I'm working 24/7 with these things, so it's possible, definitely possible.
Okay,
in fact,
I'll just take it. Yeah. I'll just add a little bit. So yes, sure. You can see data is, as Sheena started off by saying, data is the new oil. Oil is required everywhere. Like that, data is required in every field. So even if you are in a mechanical field, understanding of data helps you look at different activities that can be done there. right? So data is like, it's like understanding English as of now,
Yeah, yeah.
right?
So yesterday itself, I read a report which said that organizations which do not even deal with the IT and other services, they also have to, use data because it's everywhere and you can't actually optimize your business without data. So, everyone is hiring data experts, people like that.
So there is another question which is again around employability. I'll just pick it up. Is this course directly related to some job role? So this is the beginning, right? We took this course because it's very fundamental. From common sense, you can go there and it just gives you basics of Python. This is like asking, I've studied all the alphabets, will I get a job? So do 1 or 2 more courses and I'm sure you will you'll get a starting job. Right, Sheena?
Yeah, of course. Exactly.
Yeah.
So this is the building brick, right?
Sheena is like, yes, 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 yeah. Sheena, you just said, what is your background beside engineering? So we do have a lot of teachers here who have pursued these technologies. So you highlighting how can it be used in different areas would be nice for people who come from, a wide area of places like, manufacturing or, automobile or whatever. Just that
All right.
much.
All right, all right. So I can give you one example. So suppose we have some manufacturing plant and I'm sure automation has been there in place since a very, very long time. It's not something recent. So by automation I mean that there are sensors which are actually collecting data for you from those plants, and then that data is being stored somewhere, and there is either manual or automatic processing of that data to get actionable insights. And in some cases those insights are also being acted upon by machines themselves. So this is one case. For example, we have some plant where we have to control the temperature, and we have sensors installed at all the places, and which can actually give us the value of temperature at different points. And suppose there is another parameter, suppose say humidity or some other parameter, and you have to actually analyze a combination of these parameters to take a decision, which is right now being done by a human, say. So you can collect that data of what the human has been doing since the past 5 years. Like, this was the data, this was the action. Similar data can be collected, and a model can be trained on that data, and maybe it can be used to I would not say replace, but rather assist the human in taking decisions faster. So, this is how we can help it in different fields.
Yeah.
We have 2 minutes.
Yeah.
Anjana's.
Yeah, I'm like, I also want to tell everybody that we have another 2 sessions to go. So please don't lose if you're not able to, get a lot of questions now and a lot of things, because maybe you have not paced up to those areas which Sheena is covering, and you can, do those modules by the time we are going to meet on. So I just wanted to show that slide. But before that, Sheena, you want to do 1 minute? You have, do you want to say something to last minute advice to a lot of questions here? Any question you
Yeah,
want to take up?
yeah. So I would firstly like to thank all of you for giving your time and joining this session. And this is just a drop in the ocean what we are covering in this course. There's a lot of new things that are there to learn, and I would suggest you to keep up track with what's happening in technology. Read a lot, not just from this source but from other sources as well. There are a lot of open source things that are available. So that's it. Thank you very much.
I just want to show this screen for everyone. This is where we are, right? We are on the first session of acquiring data, which is today. And we will be meeting Sheena and CB again on 8th and then 14th. So I know 8th is only day after tomorrow, but 14th is one spaced session. By this time, we expect all of you to be at, in line with and be there till the assessment, so that we on 17th, we can all celebrate your certification. So, and, like Sheena is here to help us. But we hope you also start doing self-paced session, because there are a lot of helpful tools available on the, on the whole, it's very explainable thing on acquiring data, but a little bit, because if you don't come from that background, then this is the place that you can ask those questions. So when you meet us again on 8th, you can come prepared for the next session. So Sheena, you can just quickly tell everybody what are the areas you'll be covering in next session.
Okay, so in next session, we would be more focused on what queries or what roadblocks you are encountering while you are going through the course. And we will just talk about whatever topics participants are facing difficulties in. I think that would be a good way to go about it, right?
Right. So what we can do is, guys, learners, dear learners, what you can take this as is homework. Okay, all of this can be your homework, and you can go back and you can go through the course, go through the topics a little more in advance than what Sheena has covered already today, and then we can talk about those topics in the next session. And let's keep it as interactive as we were today. So I really appreciate that we had good number of questions pouring in from you as learners. So this really shows that you have keen interest in doing this course and upgrading yourself with respect to the technology mentioned. So let's keep the rigor on in the next session also, and let's keep it interactive as we were today as well. Right, great. Thank you everybody.
So I think Sheena, CB, just one thing, there were some questions which are like very high level, I mean advanced level. I thought I've not taken it, so probably I will give it to you, send it to you. If you could give us some link to some materials which will answer those questions, we will post it in our WhatsApp group. Like questions like how do I build my own data module, and how do I do AI and things like that.
Yeah, I remember there was one question. I'm sorry I couldn't take it, but maybe next time we'll start with that question.
Give the links to some reading material so that they can read it and then come back and ask you what else. Because those are very like motherhood, I mean, big questions. No, you can't explain it in 2 minutes.
Sure. No problem. Sure. No problem.
Yeah. Thank you so
Great.
much.
Thank you, guys. Thank you, everybody.
Thank you, everybody. Thank you.
Amazing session.
Thank you. Bye-bye. Take care.
Bye.
Bye. Bye. Bye.